I told y'all a little bit about myself. Let me tell you a little bit about this dance. It's real easy to do. Check it out. First I limped to the side like my leg was broken. Shaking and twitching, kinda like I was smoking. Crazy, whack, funky. People say you look like MC Hammer on crack, Humpty. That's alright, cause my body's in motion. It's supposed to look like a fit or a convulsion. Anyone can play this game. This is my dance, y'all. Humpty Hump's my name. No two people will do it the same. You got it down when you appear to be in pain. Humping, funkin', jumping, dig around, shaking your rump. And when the doodle jump punk points a finger like a stunt, tell him step off. I'm doing the hump. The Humpty dance is your chance to do the hump. Everybody, do it, baby. I do the Humpty Hump. Come on, I do the Humpty Hump. Sexy lady. I do the Humpty Hump. Do it, baby. I'm doing the Humpty Hump. We're doing the Humpty Hump, y'all. Watch me do the Humpty Hump. I do the Humpty Hump. Black people, I do the Humpty Hump. I do the Humpty Hump. Come on, white people, I do the Humpty Hump. I do the Humpty Hump. Puerto Ricans, I do the Humpty Hump. Just keep on doing the hump. Samoans, do the Humpty Hump. Do the Humpty Hump. Yeah. Let's get stupid. I do the Humpty Hump. 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 Give me the middle leg. I do the Humpty Hump. I'm gonna do the Humpty Hump. Give me the middle leg. So you know we're doing the Humpty Hump. Yeah. Gonna break it down. Yeah, sexy baby. Once again, the underground is in the house. I'd like to send a shout out to the whole world. Keep on doing the Humpty dance. And to all the ladies, peace and humpiness forever.
What up, everybody? Mic check, mic check. Make sure everything sounds good. What up, everybody? Oh, yeah, we sound good. What's up, everybody? Just trying to get everything up and going. It's been a while since we've been on here, but it's time to get back going. Fantasy football is right around the corner. I know a lot of you are all excited. New season, new gritties, new getting paid, new leagues getting slayed. Once again, man, if you're tuning in, thank you very much. Really appreciate it. Please like and subscribe to the page. We are trying to get this up and going. It's still a part of the Angry Vets. It's just had to change our name because there's another veteran, and I'm not gonna hate on him. He actually has the same name, and he has a lion as his logo and everything else. And it's cool, man. He's a vet, so I ain't got nothing to say, man. It's all good in the hood. You know, where there's a will, there's a way. That could be God telling me, hey yo, you got something else. So we gonna check in on something else. So this is what we're about to do. All right, 1 second here. Get everything up and going, guys. Thank you for tuning in. If you are new to the channel, man, I'm telling you, we help people win, and there's no doubt about it, man. This is what we do. It is a hobby of mine. I don't take it as serious as I used to, but I definitely do enjoy helping people win. We're gonna get it in. So today, all my mocks this year, we're gonna be mocking like I have. We're gonna be mocking just like I would in my league. So in my fantasy football league, we're a keeper league. We keep two players, and all right, let's tune in. All right, let's lock in. So we keep two players in our league, and we can keep any of these two players. You guys can see who I'm considering keeping right now. Last year was a great year, man. I'm gonna show y'all something very disappointing, man. It hurt, but we lost by like point 0.2 points, man. It sucked last year in the Super Bowl, but it was really sort of my fault, man. I was trying to be cool and try to win it with the Broncos quarterback. Should have just had Justin Fields in, but it's all good, man. You lose some, you win some. But anyway, so our keepers for this league right now, I'm sitting on Saquon Barkley and Jahmyr Gibbs. Now, I do have a little insight, guys. So I haven't been dropping a lot of bombs in the league, in the fantasy group this year. If you guys don't know, if you're new to the YouTube channel, you guys can check out our fantasy football group. I post a lot in there. I haven't been posting as much because I had to get focused on some other things, but I will be back posting in the group. But right now, for the 49ers, their season is already looking really distraught, man. Christian McCaffrey got hurt yesterday. Brandon Ayuk is demanding trades, and I guess there's some outlines already in the works for a trade to either the who is it, the Giants or the Browns or something like that. But anyways, all they're waiting on is Ayuk to agree to the trade conditions and the contracts, and he'll be gone. And so this is really in the back of my mind. It's just like I want to keep Saquon Barkley and Jahmyr Gibbs. If you guys know me, I'm pretty much a traditionalist when it comes to fantasy football. I'm all about getting those workhorse backs, and I think this year is more important than any to get your backs early. And I can't stress this enough because there's not a lot of running backs, as you guys know, that can get a lot of playing time, that gets the ball a lot, and makes a lot of big plays. After round 4 or 5, it gets really thin, really quick this year, and you guys are going to see when we start mocking. But all that to the side, I really think Deebo Samuel, if Brandon Ayuk does get traded, Chris McCaffrey's already a little bit banged up, Madden curse, cough, cough, cough. Anyways, we're looking at Deebo Samuel becoming the number one weapon in this offense. And if you don't remember last year, Deebo Samuel, or 2 years ago, 3 years ago, Deebo Samuel was being used out of the backfield a lot as a running back. We could see that again this year with Deebo in the backfield. They're already banged up. Jordan Mason is banged up behind Chris McCaffrey. He went out with a strain yesterday. I want to say a mid-grain strain yesterday as well. So I'm really considering keeping Deebo Samuel. If I was to keep Deebo Samuel, I would have to give up. So how our keeper league works is if you keep a player, they lose two, or they half the round. So if you draft a player in round 8, you keep them for round 4 this year. I drafted Deebo last year. Let's see. Last year I picked him at 3. Oh, so I think I would have to give up a 2 for him, or maybe a 1. So that won't be happening, but maybe I can still pick him up in the draft. Definitely not giving up a 1 for Deebo, but that's something to consider, man. So you guys, hopefully you all have been paying attention. Like I said, I haven't been posting the group, but I will be posting more news and some of my insights in the group. And please, guys, if you don't know, man, I'm telling you guys, I won't lead you guys astray. We do this every year, and every year people doubt me, and they're like, man, he don't know what he's talking about. And then my players come through, man. If you tuned in last year, you guys can go back and look at the history record. You can go look in the Facebook group. I'm not bragging. We already talked about Puka Nacua. That's why I'm on my team. And I actually had Tank Dell on his team as well, but he got hurt right before the playoffs, and I needed to drop him to pick up some people. You're seeing a lot of empty places in my squad because I was dropping. I picked up a lot of goofy people in the championship, like I had Tom Brady and stuff. But all that aside, man, I'm telling you guys, please subscribe. We will help you out. I do a lot of this stuff for free. I would appreciate if people would start buying some of the t-shirts. I bought a whole bunch of t-shirts to sell, and I haven't really been promoting them. But this year, I will be promoting them because I do want to upgrade my equipment, man. I hate doing this with the older equipment. But anyways, I see that some people are starting to tune in, so I appreciate you guys. Please like and subscribe to the channel. It would be greatly appreciated. I really would like to grow the channel like we grew the Facebook group, and start getting some more insight out to everyone else. I know a lot of people will try to use me as their little secret weapon, but you know, hey, a tip here and there would be nice as well, guys. I do got a family to feed. So anyways, let's go ahead and start our mock draft. We will be starting a mock draft with the players that I have as keepers right now. So that means that Jahmyr Gibbs will be my second round pick and Saquon will be my first round pick. So let's see, start your draft here, blah, 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 blah. We don't know what round we're going to be picking in yet. We are right now trying to decide draft order, and we're trying to come up with a fun way. But for some reason, people in the league this year aren't being very fun. And that's what it takes. To me, man, listen, if you're in a fantasy football league, yes, winning is fun and everything else, but have fun, man. Even if you're not winning, talk trash. Go out there and wreck somebody's record and do some crazy stuff. And right now, it's just like our league is usually pretty good with trash talking. All right, so they put us in spot 6. That's cool. So we're going to go ahead and set player. We're going to set, let me see, running backs. So we're going to put Jahmyr Gibbs there, or Saquon. We keep Saquon and Jahmyr Gibbs. We'll do that. And then come back around. And here's the thing, man. I really don't think I will be able to get both of these in the back-to-back rounds, so I have to do it as a keeper. And sorry if that beeping is really loud. Let's turn that. Let's mute that. It's sort of distracting me. All right, and I will be pausing the draft as we go. You guys can only see so much, but all right. So now I think Jahmyr Gibbs is already probably taken. I should have put him first. Yeah, let's fix this. All right. I'm used to doing the mock drafts on my phone. Let's see, pause draft. All right, let's fix this. So let's take Jahmyr Gibbs off his team 10 and put him there. All right, so we'll put Jahmyr Gibbs there. Set player, Jahmyr Gibbs. All right, we'll set him there. And team 10, I'm sorry, you got a little screw right there, brother, but you'll be all right. All right, we'll just put, let's just say we'll put Drake London. We'll just go off of ADP. So we'll put Drake London there. Now, guys, I want to give you a little insight. So for this season, I'm going to pause right here and talk about a little bit of players. I'm actually really big on that Atlanta offense this year. Right now, there are rumors that Brian Robinson and Tyler Algier will share the workload for Atlanta's backfield again. But I really think that Robinson is too good of a player not to make big plays off of 13, 14 carries a game. Like, I just think he's going to get ridiculous. Like, if we look at his stats from last year, you're not able to, save player card. Let's just look at his stats from last year, 2023. So let's see right here, rushing attempts. So there's 19 for 124, 10 for 33. All right, this is what I think we'll get out of him. 14 for 105. He turned around with Houston, only had 14 for 46, only 2 catches. We had a 16 for 91. You know, looking at the season, you're like, man, I'm not really big on Bijan Robinson, but you got to remember last year, that offense was just all over the place. They didn't have any quarterback. The reason I'm really big on Bijan Robinson is because Kirk Cousins is going to make defenses respect them. So they can't put 8 people in the box just to shut down Bijan Robinson. They have to spread out because now you got Christian Kirk, who's an actual, or Drake London, who's an actual asset. Now you got Kyle Pitts, who's an actual asset. And I will be talking about Kyle Pitts. I cannot stress, guys, do not fall victim to these people that are telling you, well, I'm not that big on Kyle Pitts, even with Kirk Cousins. You are crazy. I am trying to get Pitts wherever I can in whatever leagues I can as late as I can. So right now, I think he's going around about 6 or 7. We'll see where he falls in this draft, and I will be trying to grab him. So let's go ahead and resume here. So right now, like I said, we got Saquon Barkley, Jahmyr Gibbs. There goes Brandon Ayuk, Josh Allen. Ooh, quarterback came off early. There goes Deebo Samuel right before our pick. Now we're up. I'm going to pause the draft here. I'm going to keep pausing when our picks come up only because I want to make sure to be able to talk through some things. All right, so pause draft. All right, so we're going to come here, set player. All right, so right now we have on the board Josh Jacobs. Now, I want to tell you guys another secret of Josh Jacobs. Everybody's going to base his season this year off of his season last year. It's inevitable. This is what fantasy football players do every year. they're short-minded thinkers. They always want to go with what everybody else is saying, and they don't want to think outside the box. So I actually heard a decent stat yesterday on CBS Football where they were saying that Josh Jacobs faced the most eight-man boxes in the NFL last year. He was the number one rated player in facing eight-man boxes. That means almost every down he needed to run the ball, he had to run against eight people in that box. That's unheard of. It's hard to do. Even my boy Adrian Peterson, you guys know I'm a huge Adrian Peterson fan. It was even hard for him to do, and he's an outlier at running back. This year, Josh Jacobs is coming to a Green Bay offense that loves to spread the ball out. They have weapons all over the field. They have an up-and-coming quarterback, so he will not be seeing those eight-man boxes. Aaron Jones had a pretty decent season last year, even though he's up and down with injuries. He still had a pretty decent season. Josh Jacobs is a power back. I think he's going to get a lot of red zone work, and I think he's going to get a lot of carries. So do not sleep on Josh Jacobs. Now, I'm not taking Josh Jacobs right here. I think that's a little unnecessary with having two running backs. I do like being running back heavy because we all know how running backs can get hurt at any point, but I don't want to sleep on grabbing some other players here. So if you look, like I was saying, rounds 4 and 5, the running back position gets really thin. Now I could be greedy and grab Rachaad White, Josh Jacobs. Now for my people that are going to go receiver heavy in the first 2 rounds, you can feel good about who you're going to grab in the 3rd round. Right now, it's looking pretty decent. You got to take a little risk, but if you're not really huge on risk, I would definitely grab a Josh Jacobs right here or a Rachaad White. Rachaad White last year, a lot of people forget, but he was one of the most utilized backs in the NFL last year. Rachaad White had a really decent season. Last year, he started heating up around week 12 and up. He started getting, PPR. He had 15 points here, 15 points there, 14 points. Jacksonville 16, 15, 14. He started heating up a little bit towards the end of the season. Now, that is running back 2 numbers, but if you go receiver heavy in the first 2 rounds, then you just need somebody to carry you. You just need somebody that's going to get some work in that backfield. Rachaad White, I'm not against grabbing him right there. Now, let me tell you this. If you're looking at it receiver-wise, a lot of people are big on Nico Collins. I'm really skeptical about that entire offense. It's not like they just added Stefon Diggs Stefon Diggs is fading away and he's getting so old where he's not getting open. Stefon Diggs is still Stefon Diggs, and he still looked really good last year. They had a lot of commotion last year, and he didn't really want to be in Buffalo. I don't know what the whole scene was, but Stefon Diggs at the end of the day is still Stefon Diggs, and Tank Dell is coming back, and Tank Dell still looks like Tank Dell. So is Nico Collins going to still get all those looks? I'm a little concerned. If you go look at the stats, when Nico Collins and Tank Dell were both on the field, a lot of those looks went over to Tank Dell's side, and Tank Dell was getting the ball further down the field. And they still have those tight ends there. I'm not sure. Nico Collins can be a really spotty kind of guy for me this year. DJ Moore is another situation where we don't know if Keenan Allen is going to be the top dog there, if it's going to be DJ Moore, or if it's going to be Duze or the new receiver that they got. It's really questionable. Now, I like Jalen Waddle this year only because he was banged up last year. But now, look, Dolphins head coach says Wednesday that Waddle is missing practice this week due to a minor unspecified injury. He's already coming in banged up. He's already hurt. And we all know Jalen Waddle, he doesn't get the attention that he should with his injuries, but Jalen Waddle gets hurt a lot. A lot. When he's on the field, cool. He makes some pretty big plays. Now, is it receiver 1 stuff? Not at all. Now, if something were to happen to Tyreek, I don't see it happening right now. Tyreek looks really good, and I think Tyreek's trying to finish the season strong this year. But Jalen Waddle is already banged up. So would I be able to trust the Jalen Waddle here? Not necessarily, and I'm really concerned about that because looking at receivers, it's a little rough. I could take Michael Pittman, but with him and Anthony Richardson, we don't know. I could go Malik Neighbors, but let me tell y'all a secret. Cooper Kupp looks really good. If I can get Cooper Kupp in the 3rd round this year, I'm taking him. Don't tell my league mates that. They might be watching, but I'm big on Cooper Kupp this year. I think he's going to have a bounce-back season, and I don't think he's going to fall to the 3rd round by the time the drafts come around, or at least I think one of my league mates will grab him before me if I'm right here in this weaker side, pick 6. Now, if I can move up here and be closer to this round, grabbing Saquon Barkley and Jahmyr Gibbs right here, 1 and 2, then turn around and get like a Cooper Kupp or Mike Evans, I will do something like that. All right, let's resume the draft here. Let's see what comes off the board after me. So there goes Josh Jacobs. I like that pick a lot. Isaiah Pacheco, there's a lot of projections that he's going to have a big season coming up. All right, there goes the quarterback. Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen went first. Now, I would have taken Jalen Hurts before I would have took Josh Allen this year. It's going to be hard with Josh Allen having a rookie receiver. He's going to have to prove that rookie receiver is a threat. And until then, they're going to come down and blitz him a lot more and put pressure on him and not let him run the ball as much as they did in the past. Didn't in the past with Stephon Diggs. You had to be respectful with Stephon Diggs. They don't have that player right now where everybody's like, all right, we got to respect him. No, they're going to put people in that box. And they're going to blitz a lot more to put pressure on Josh Allen. And yes, I know he's one of the top quarterbacks against the blitz, but that is also with him throwing the ball to this man right here, Stephon Diggs. So I'm a little concerned about that. So I would hold off on grabbing Josh Allen so early. I know a lot of people aren't going to listen to that, but I think there might be a little bit of regression. But I do have somebody on the Bills that I do want to grab, and I'm not sure if it's who you think it is. So we'll get to him in a little bit. All right, so now let's look at the players we have left. We grabbed our receiver in last round, which I'm cool with that. Now, we could grab a quarterback right here. We do have Trey McBride. We have James Cook, who I think is going to be a phenomenal player. I think there may be more checkdowns in the books, in the cards for him. We have DK Metcalf, who, you know, all the talent in the world. It's just one of those tricky plays. You still have Mark Andrews. He had his ups and downs last year, but he was banged up. Will he be able to stay healthy this year to be a return on investment with a fourth round pick? I'm not sold on it, man. So looking at his stats last year, you know, he was just middle of the pack. It wasn't like he was an outstanding tight end like we're used to him being last year. So right here, I'm thinking round 4 is where I want to grab my running back. I still have Anthony Richardson to choose from. Joey B, I think, is going to have a phenomenal season. I really think he's going to bounce back strong. He's not hurt. Ja'Marr Chase is healthy. Those boys are hungry. I want a piece of this offense. They play in one of the toughest divisions where you got to be able to throw the ball. I think we can grab Joey B. We could probably wait one more round. CJ Stroud is going to be phenomenal as well. He looked good as a rookie. Why did he not continue that up this year? And then you got Anthony Richardson. Anthony Richardson, every year he played, every game he played last year, he got banged up. I'm concerned with that. I love Anthony Richardson. I think he's a phenomenal talent. I can't risk taking him this early in the draft for him to be banged up, and then I'm looking lost where I could have took somebody else in the 4th. So right here in this spot, I'm gonna go ahead and sneak in. Let's see, we got a receiver. We still got DK. So DK as a receiver too. I'm not mad about that. It's just that the last 2 years with Geno Smith, DK's numbers haven't been, you know, stellar. They haven't been what we're used to with DK when he played with Russell Wilson, when he was having those 30 and 40-point outings and just going bonkers. We didn't have that last year. You know, looking at the numbers now, DK didn't even, let's see, yards, 47, 1, 2, 3. He only had 3 games over 100, and he had a couple where he almost hit 100. It's just like, what are we gonna get? And then you gotta think about it. We have the rookie that's coming up now, Jackson Smith and Jigba, who was looking pretty good last year. You still got Tyler Lockett there. So as a receiver too, I'm cool with that for having him. If I could get Cooper Kupp and then come around and then grab a DK Metcalf, I'm not mad about that. So right here, we're gonna have a little fun. Let's see what we got at tight end. I'm really big on waiting on tight end this year, and I'm gonna show you guys why, because I think there's a lot of potential later on in the draft. So let's go ahead and grab. We got my boy Tank Dell. I think George Pickens might have a pretty big season. You got T. Higgins there, Amari Cooper. We're gonna grab Amari Cooper, have him as our receiver too. Him and Deshaun Jackson are going to be, or Deshaun Watson are going to be back. Deshaun Jackson. I was watching a video on Deshaun Jackson this morning, so maybe that's why he's in my head. All right, so we're going to resume draft. We got Amari Cooper, Cooper Kupp. I'm not mad at this team right here. I'm really not. Right now, we're looking pretty good. Let's see. It looks like teammate might be really keeping Breece Hall and Kyren Williams. So we'll see how that works out. All right, we're going to pause right here. Pause draft. Excuse me, guys. All right, so now we got Joe Mixon with Houston. Still got Tank Dell there. And I could take Tank Dell as a receiver 3 right here. Got Kyle Pitts. I know he's not going to come back around to me. So, like I said, guys, I'm big on Kyle Pitts this year. I really think he's going to have a big season. I actually text Cody this, and Cody's like, I don't know. And I'm like, all right, I'm telling you guys, grab Kyle Pitts where you can get him. I think he's in for a huge season. Grab Kyle Pitts and make your league mates hate it. They're going to regret it. All right, we're going to resume draft. I'm going to grab me some water. And I'm sorry if you're in the chat. I'm unable to check the chat while I'm drafting right now. So I will respond in the comment section. I got you guys. So if you got any questions, don't hesitate to ask. I'm here for you guys. So Anthony Richardson just now went off the board right before us. Am I disappointed at that? Not at all. So we're in round 6 right now. And look at this team, man. We got Kyle Pitts, Amari Cooper, Cooper Kupp, Jahmyr Gibbs, and Saquon Barkley. I really feel like that's a dominant team. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I like this team a lot. If I could get that in this draft, I'm a happy man. I'm a very happy man. So for shits and giggles, let's see what we got. Like I told you guys, excuse me, I really feel like this year is the year to wait on tight ends. You got Evan Ingram, and please do not sleep on what Evan Ingram did last year. Look at these stats. He finished as tight end 6 last year, and he had some pretty big games. We had a, 12-point outing there, 12-point outing there, 12-point outing there, 12-point, and 12-point outings. So you guys got to remember, last year at tight end, it was hard as heck. We didn't have no big tight ends really blowing up week in and week out. Evan Ingram was one of the most consistent weapons. If you could get him, it wouldn't hurt to have him at tight end. Now, let's see what we got at quarterback here. We're going into round 6 or going into 7. And right now at quarterback, we still have Kyler Murray, who has, a new rookie, Marvin Harrison there. You have Jordan Love, who's still pretty decent. You got Brock Purdy, who put up decent numbers. You got Caleb Williams. As much as I'm not a big fan of Caleb Williams, he might put up some big stats. We'll see. No. So for all of my fantasy football players out there, did you guys watch the Hall of Fame game last week? And they so-called Caleb Williams warming up, and there was no energy there. And like whenever you see the number 1 overall pick at quarterback, there's usually this whole like energy, this aurora around them. And you're like, oh man, I can't wait to see him play. But with Caleb Williams, it was just like, man. And I'm not saying that, and I'm not trying to be a hater or anything. It just didn't seem like he was really there. So, with that being said, I'm a little concerned. I'm not sure what we get out of him, but some other players that you could grab in the draft that could put up some big numbers. Do not sleep on Jaden Daniels. He's looking good at camp. They said he's been looking really good at training camp. He looks fast. He could be like that RG3 rookie year kind of quarterback. He's going to make plays with his legs, and he has the scary Terry McLaurin there, and they got some tight ends around him as well. We got Justin Herbert, who's already banged up, Kirk Cousins, Matthew Stafford, Aaron Rodgers, who I think could have a decent season. I don't like all of the gimmicks that's been happening this offseason with Aaron Rodgers. Like, he hasn't been at a few practices because he's been going to different events and stuff. I mean, I get it, he's Aaron Rodgers, but I still want to see him out there practicing with his team. And he has weapons all around him, from Breece Hall to Garrett Wilson, and they added some players for him. It's just like he has so many weapons. I just don't see why he wouldn't have another big season. Those MVP years, look what you got from him in the MVP years. Now, is he going to have another MVP season? I don't know, but it's still Aaron Rodgers. The arm is still active, very active. Let's see. This was last year with the Jets. He was hurt. The year with the Packers where he's pretty banged up. And then this is his MVP season. So you had 25 points, 21, 22, 23, 21, 24, 20. We had 4 touchdowns, 2 touchdowns, 2, 2, 2, 3, 3. And it wasn't doing his legs. And I mean, that arm is still active. So you can get a steal with Aaron Rodgers. Don't sleep on him. This offense has a lot of weapons, man. A lot of weapons. And Aaron Rodgers, at the end of the day, still wants another Super Bowl ring. You got Dak Prescott. I'm going to take a chance with Kyler Murray here. Because if you look at it, Kyler Murray, at the end of the season, when he started coming back around, he was healthier. Those numbers started looking a lot better. Like he said, against the 49ers, that was a tough defense. Their offensive line was trash. They didn't really have a starting receiver. Marvin Harrison wasn't there. Marquise Brown was sort of in and out, banged up. And you were still getting big numbers from, not big numbers, but you're still getting decent numbers from him. You had, let's see, these were projections. Sorry, guys. So, he scored PPR-wise towards the end of the season. You had 24-20. He had a 17-point game. Against the 49ers, he had a 15-point game. Terrible against Pittsburgh. Then Rams 20, Houston 22, shootouts. I'm like a Kyler Murray. I'm not against it. First game of the season, he has the Buffalo Bills. He's at Buffalo, so it's not going to be cold there. That game could be a potential shootout. They're going to try to show Marvin Harrison off a little bit. Kyler Murray is trying to make his name known that he's back. Then you got the Rams after that. That's going to be another shootout. Detroit after that, another shootout. Washington after that could be another shootout. Like Kyler Murray's in for some big games. He's going to have to ball out if he wants to stay in these games. So I'm gonna go ahead and take a chance with Kyler Murray right here. Take him as my QB1. And now I got a secret weapon coming back around later on in the draft. All right, so let's get Kyler Murray in that spot. And we have some other options. You got Tua still there. All right, let's resume the draft. Let's see what shakes out. So there goes David Montgomery. I could have handcuffed him with Jahmyr Gibbs, but I'm not the biggest on handcuffing. I like Christian Kirk right there around 6, guys. Don't sleep on Christian Kirk. He's the number one receiver there in Jacksonville. There's nothing else there. And last year, man, he was the most targeted receiver almost in the NFL. Every chance they got, every chance Trevor Lawrence dropped back, you saw him. Let's see here, 1 second. You saw Christian Kirk getting looked at. So, show player card. Look at these stats. He finished as receiver 47, but he did get a lot of looks. So PPR wise, if you're in a PPR league, this is somebody you want to look at. Look at this. Targets 14. He had 21 points that game, 15, 16, 14, 13, 19 points that game. And then he got hurt towards the end of the season. But when he's on the field, hey, Trevor Lawrence is looking his way. 7 targets, 6 targets, 11 targets, 5, 6, 6, 8, 12. And he catches the ball. He's consistent. So going into round 7 and getting a receiver 2 potential flex, I'm not mad at that with Christian Kirk. All right, so let's make our pick here. And we're going to speed the mock up a little bit, but here we go. So setting a player here. We still got Evan Ingram there at tight end. We got Terry McLaurin. Now, let's talk about Terry McLaurin. We do got Jaden Daniels, who has an active arm, who can get the ball downfield. He likes making those big plays. We've seen it at LSU, and he's going to make plays with his legs. Now, secret, whenever a quarterback can make plays with his legs, that causes defenses to come down into the box a little bit more to help those defensive ends who's getting tired towards the end of the game chasing the quarterback. Once that happens, the backside of that defense is opened up, and Terry McLaurin can sneak back there behind the defense. They have a lot of burners on that offense already, so not only do you have Terry McLaurin there, but you also have, 1 second, let me show you guys. You also have Jahan Dotson, who's became pretty big. You got Diami Brown, and I guess Luke McCaffrey is starting to move into that receiver 3 role. That's pretty cool. McCaffrey's, man, they just got a deep bloodline, I guess. But you got a few people battling it out for that receiver 3 position. But then at tight end, look, they brought in Zach Ertz, who's already getting a rapport with Jaden Daniels. So that back end is going to start opening up. That means Terry McLaurin is going to start getting more looks on that backside, and he's going to have some potential one-on-ones to make some things happen. They had a terrible quarterback situation last year, and Terry McLaurin didn't really have that many big games. Against the Rams, he had a 26-point outing, had 6 receptions, 141 yards, 1 touchdown. Good luck getting that. Last year, a lot of people didn't start him in that game, but I think he'll have a better season. Round 7, you can't beat that kind of value right there for a potential receiver 2. High-end receiver 1. Jordan Addison, I'm staying away from. Xavier Worthy. This is somebody that I am really keeping my eye on. I'm not sure how I feel about Xavier Worthy. I'm going to continue to post some stuff about him. But, they did bring in Hollywood Brown into Kansas City. But right now, every time I turn around, there's a Patrick Mahomes throw to Xavier Worthy deep downfield. And he's starting to look like a taller version of Tyreek Hill. Now, is he going to be Tyreek Hill? I'm not sure. But look, Tyreek Hill wasn't Tyreek Hill until he got into that offense with Kansas City, and they started letting him be Tyreek Hill. And now we're seeing Xavier Worthy starting to just be who he is and just get downfield and run downfield. I think he'll have some big games. I don't know if that rapport is going to be all the way there, but he is going to be there. So then we got Hollywood Brown right there, Calvin Ridley. You guys can't forget right now, DeAndre Hopkins is already banged up with the Titans, and Calvin Ridley is going to be the potential receiver 1 for however long DeAndre Hopkins is out. So he's going to get a lot of targets. And I saw a throw yesterday with their quarterback, and he looked pretty nice. You got David Njoku, who could be a sleeper at tight end. Told you guys to wait on tight ends this year, man. There's going to be some value. Everybody's going to be in there trying to hurry up and grab Kelsey and grab Kittle and all these other tight ends. Dalton Kincaid is already gone, who I think could be a very valuable tight end. But there's some value later in the draft. David Njoku had some huge games last year, guys. You can't forget about David Njoku. Pull him up so we can look at his stats together. So last year, what happened? And I do apologize, guys. I don't know what happened here. So let's see if we can get it pulled back up. Maybe someone's telling me I'm giving out too much advice. So if I can't pull it up, guys, we'll end the stream right here, and then we'll do another one here this weekend. I'm going to try to do at least 2 a week until the season starts. All right, so it looks like, let's see if we can get back to that mock draft. All right, so there we go. It is still paused. I'm not giving out too many insights. I do have some secret weapons that I refuse to give out right now, and I will later on. So we'll just do the first few rounds. Let's see here. Got Brock Bowers. Where did he go? David Njoku. Number 5 tight end. You're getting a number 5 tight end this late, and he's starting to get more and more rapport with his starting quarterback. I mean, come on, 10 points there. Like I said, guys, it was hard to get points from the tight end position, but then you get this outing right here, 27, 26, 16, 17. And look where that was towards the end of the season. Now, that was with Joe Flacco. Deshaun Watson was out at that point. So it is a little concerning. We'll see what him and Deshaun Watson could do together. But it's not like they have that many options. Now, I already added Amari Cooper, so I'm going to keep my hands on Amari Cooper. Jerry Jeudy is already hurt, and they do have Elijah Moore and David Bell, who would get some looks as well. Amari Cooper's still the alpha in that offense. He's still the alpha dog, the big dog there. But don't sleep on David Njoku. At this point, at this pick right here for us, with our team, like I said, we already got we have some studs. We already got a tight end. So now we're just picking people to fill in on the bench. Tony Pollard could get a lot of look with the Tennessee Titans. I'm not drafting Nick Chubb this year. I'm going to wait a whole another season. He is on PUP, so he's not eligible to return, I think, till week 4 or 6. So I'm sticking back on that. You guys know I'm a big Broncos fan. I'm staying away from Javonte Williams and that entire offense for the season being. Bo Nix has to prove himself before teams get out of that box and start stopping the run. So we'll see what that turns into. Zach Moss, if he gets that starting role with Cincinnati, I would not regret taking Zach Moss at pick 7 right here, or in round 7. Definitely grab him. I think Austin Eckler could be a value right here at round 7 as well. You do got Jaylen Warren, who is going to get on the field. So you got some value here at running back as well. Receivers, if I had to make a pick right here, I would go ahead and take Scary Terry. I'm not mad about having him at receiver 3 as a backup. I'm not mad about having Xavier Worthy as a throw-in, and I'm not mad about Calvin Ridley. I'm staying away from Jordan Addison. That quarterback room scares me. Sam Darnold might be the starting quarterback, and Sam Darnold has a hard enough time just getting the ball to his players, yet alone feeding or carrying 2 receivers and 1 offense with a tight end. It's just I don't trust it, so I'm staying away. Rome Odunze is still a rookie, and he's still behind Keenan Allen. He's still behind DJ Moore. I don't know how many looks are going to be there with Caleb Williams, and they're still trying to establish a run there. They will be in a lot of shootouts, but I just don't know about Rome Odunze. And you do have Keon Coleman, who's going to be the top dog for the Bills offense. I think you get him a little bit later, a couple rounds later, so I might wait on him. So let's see here. We'll make a couple more picks, and then I'll get out of here. So Luke McConkey is already getting a lot of love. He's already going round 7. That's crazy. For the Chargers, they're, you got their quarterback is hurt, so I'm not sure why that is happening. Justin Herbert is questionable, so I'm not really big on McConkey just yet. I like him as a player. I was big on him coming out, but I think it's going to take a little bit of time, and I think that's way too early to take him. So let's just say right here we'll take Zach Moss just because he is potentially going to get that starting role. So let's say we'll take Zach Moss, or do we want Terry McCullough? Now I'm going to get a running back because we only got 2. We need some kind of backfield. We need some people on the bench. So we'll take John. Where'd he go? Zach Moss here. Or we could go Austin Eckler. I think a lot of people are sleeping on Austin Eckler. Let's mute this again. All right, so resume draft. Mute that. We'll make one more pick, guys, and then we'll head up out of here. So there goes Brock Bowers. Secret. There we go. All right. And there goes Hollywood Brown, Xavier Worthy. So those 2 receivers went back to back. That's crazy to see. And I think that is going to happen in the drafts. It's really going to be hard to see, man, or hard to project who's going to be that top receiver downfield. I think Hollywood Brown will get more of the medium routes, the mediocre or the middle side of the field, and then Xavier Worthy just be that straight stretch down the field. Now, if I'm in a keeper, if I'm in a dynasty, obviously Xavier Worthy is the receiver to have. They're already trying to develop him into that Tyreek Hill role. And Kansas City has already said this year that they want to be able to pass the ball downfield. They want to bring that deep field back. Whereas these last couple of years, it's been pretty much keeping everything nice and simple. In the intermediate range, they want to get back throwing the ball downfield. So Xavier Worthy is going to be that guy for that. And Hollywood Brown has been making some plays in camp as well. So let's go with this last pick of the draft, or this last pick of the mock. We have DeAndre Hopkins, Jonathan Brooks, Javonte Williams, Deontay Johnson, and I'm not saying anything, Keon Coleman. We need another receiver. I'm going to go ahead and go right here. We're just going to go ahead and take Keon Coleman. He could be the top dog. And plus, I'm a little biased, man. He's a Seminole. You guys know I love my Florida State boys. And we're going to end the mock draft right there. I'm not going to give you guys too much yet. I am going to put some more stuff in it. I'm actually going to do the podcast tomorrow. We'll record the podcast, and I will have more insight tomorrow. I'll break down a lot more players. I'll give you some of my secret weapons that I plan on selecting in the draft, because I know a lot of people in my league don't listen to the podcast. So I'll keep that under wraps to the podcast. Other than that, guys, I really appreciate you all tuning in. I appreciate you coming in for the first mock draft of the season. We will keep these rolling. We'll keep everything going nice and smooth. If you guys have any questions, please post in the comment section. If you got questions about player, trades that you might be considering, let me know, man. I got your guys' back. And like I said, please like and subscribe to the channel. We look to grow this channel more. And with that being said, man, as always, it's peace and love. Love you all. God bless, man. Jesus is king.